Good afternoon, boys and girls. Good afternoon, chess friends. For today, I have prepared 3 exercises about the pawns. I've got 3 situations I'd like to discuss with you about the connected passed pawns, protected, and pawns split by a file. So let me share the screen and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Sharing the screen. And there we go. Right, protected passed pawns here. Right, now you don't want to push c4 because simply black is going to take, and if you take, then the black king will take your pawn. There's no point in pushing any of the 2 white pawns, right? So you don't want to push the other pawn either because you're just blocking the whole thing. So the wisest thing to apply here is just moving the king in support of the 2 pawns. So king gets closer. Now, they challenge your c3 pawn. You don't want to take, because by taking, you actually double up your pawns, and your opponent's king just simply collects the pawns, and you're not going to achieve anything, right? So we don't want to take it, but instead we want to move forwards. Now, they just try to come closer. We moving our own king, playing the king closer. We'll just do now king to e5. Okay, getting the king closer in support of this pawn. We can safely check the king, moving the king over, also attacking the black pawn, taking now the black pawn. Now we can simply move the king to the right. We've created the space for the other pawn on b4 to going forwards. Look at this nice blockade here. So black king simply can't come closer. We're moving closer ourselves. I think it's absolutely perfectly fine to play the king one more time. We're just pushing this pawn forwards. That's an alternative, very good move. So let's just move the king now. Okay. Now, there are quite a few good moves here for white, but if this guy goes forwards, definitely threatens to queening, so the king tries to stop you. If they try to stop you, you move your king now, and you take that square from the king. I mean, you're protecting that key squares, move your own stuff, getting a queen, and you're fine. Okay, so that was the protected passed pawn. Now, let me go to another one, guys, about the connected passed pawns. Now, you may say that the black king will take the white pawn on a4. Now, you don't have any reason to worry about this, because as soon as they get the pawn on b5 simply moves forwards. Okay, so there's not a problem whatsoever. So moving the king to supporting the 2 pawns, obviously they can't take, just moving forwards. Okay, now what do? I don't want to push the pawn because the king will be taking on b5. What I want to do is just simply opposing the black king, taking those 3 squares from them. Okay, now I simply move the king, my king on b4. I'm ready now to advance the a5, moving the king over to c5. Yeah, I think we can safely push b6 as an alternative move, or simply playing king to d6, another alternative move. Checking the king, that looks absolutely fine. Moving on c6, getting with the b6 closer, pushing b7 one more time. Now, you've got to be careful here not to play king b6, because by doing so, we are stalemating the king. So we're going to play a little bit of a sacrifice. King a6 over to a7. Check the king. King takes. Going to play king c7 now, and you take a queen. Very nice. We've taken a queen. Now, very quickly, instead of just chasing down the opponent's king, why not simply stopping them from moving down? And now, with the king's help, you got to put the queen on b6, and you've got checkmate. Okay. Now, I'd like to try another one, guys. Pawns when they are split by one file. Now, you may think that we're already in trouble because the king is far away and the king is going to take them one by one. Actually, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Remember, if the king will be capturing that particular pawn, you will have more than enough time to go forwards without being captured. So even if they now come into c4 to threaten to take your pawn, now the only correct move for white to play is by pushing a3 to a4. The reason is, if they take your pawn, you're going to go forwards, right? And if they try chasing up your pawn, you're going to go forwards, and there is no way for them to catch up with your pawn. They simply can't take, and that's the reason they didn't take. They just try to keep the other pawn in sight to being able to stop them. What do? Just moving our king. They are absolutely protected by the nature of their position. King simply can't take it. Now, don't do any pawn move. Don't do any pawn moves. They are protecting each other. So we're just moving the king now. Again, there is totally safe for you playing the king on e4. If the king takes, you should be able to move the other pawn totally safely. Now, because we got to this point, I can drop the king here as an alternative move, or simply going forwards with my own king. Now, pawn is being protected. I can very nicely push this guy forwards. Going with this at the same time, I could play a5 as an alternative move, or playing with the king and supporting the pawn to moving forwards. Again, very nicely, threatening queening. So, because they are right in front of our pawn, I'm going to play the a5 pawn. Now, I can totally safely play a6 if the king takes I'm queening. Again, moving a7, you've got no problem whatsoever here. You could go get yourself a queen. You could play the king to d7. That's absolutely fine. Let's just get a queen. Right, now, don't panic. The king goes to d7. As an alternative move, you could play also to c6. And now you may say, what's this mess? How am I going to win? Well, just go get yourself, but be very careful when you're promoting now. Don't get a queen. Don't get the queen, okay? Because you stalemate. So you want to get a rook this time, not a queen. You get a rook, and now as you remember, when we got opposition with the other king, you move the rook over to a8, boom, check and mate. So, boys and girls, that was the pawn split by one file, and we got some connected pawns exercises to practice. You could find them on the amazingly useful website called Chessable. So that's an incredibly superb tool, apart from other websites like chess.com or Lichess. So you can use Chessable to keep practicing the same stuff over and over and over again. That might be very useful for your preparations. So have a look at this website as well. So that was it for today, guys. See you shortly with many other videos. Thanks for watching.